Ella's classroom cleanup. It was a bright and cheerful afternoon in Miss Taylor's classroom. The students had just finished one of their favorite activities, art time. Paintbrushes were dipped in vibrant colors, paper was scattered across the tables, and everyone was buzzing with excitement about their colorful creations. Ella, a thoughtful and creative girl with bright eyes and a kind heart, had enjoyed the art session just like the rest of her classmates. She loved using all the colors in the paint tray to make beautiful rainbows and flowers on her paper. But as Miss Taylor announced the end of art time, Ella looked around and noticed something. The classroom was a complete mess. There were paint splatters on the tables, bits of paper and glue stuck to the floor, and art supplies were scattered everywhere. Markers, crayons, and brushes were rolling off the tables. Most of the kids were already running off to the playground for recess, leaving behind their messy workspaces without a second thought. Ella stood by her desk, looking at the chaos around her. She knew that Miss Taylor would have to clean up the mess all by herself if no one helped. Ella thought about how hard her teacher worked every day to make sure the class was fun and exciting. It didn't seem fair to leave all this mess for her to deal with alone. Ella decided to take action. She picked up her paintbrushes and put them back in their cup, then carefully stacked her paper and put the used supplies in their proper places. As she was cleaning, her friend Lucy walked by. "Ella, what are you doing?" Lucy asked, surprised to see her still inside. "Recess has started. Let's go play." "I'm cleaning up," Ella said, looking up with a smile. "We made a big mess during art time, and I think we should help clean it up." Lucy looked around the room and saw the scattered mess. She frowned, realizing that Ella had a point. "Yeah, it's really messy in here," Lucy admitted. "But doesn't Miss Taylor usually clean up after us?" Ella nodded. "She does, but it's not fair for her to clean up our mess every day. If we all help, we can finish really fast and still have time to play. Plus, it's nice to help others." Lucy thought about it for a moment, then smiled. "You're right, Ella. Let's do it." Ella and Lucy began tidying up their desks, picking up the scattered art supplies, and wiping the tables where paint had dripped. As they worked, their classmate Jake wandered over. "What are you two doing?" Jake asked, his eyebrows raised. "Why aren't you outside?" "We're cleaning up," Lucy replied, handing Jake a crayon that had rolled under the table. "Ella said it's nice to help out, and if we all pitch in, we'll finish super fast." Jake looked at the crayon in his hand, then around at the messy classroom. "I guess that's true," he said. "Miss Taylor does a lot for us." Jake joined in, helping gather up the papers and put away the paint trays. Soon, more and more kids noticed what was happening. One by one, they started joining the cleanup effort. Emily picked up the markers, Sam wiped down the tables, and even Alex, who was known for being a little messy, began sweeping the floor with a broom. Miss Taylor, who had been busy grading some papers at her desk, looked up in surprise. She couldn't believe her eyes. The entire class was working together to clean up the room. Usually, she had to remind them to pick up after themselves, but today, they were doing it all on their own. "Wow, class," Miss Taylor said, walking over to where the children were working. "You're all doing such a great job cleaning up. What made you decide to do this?" Ella looked up from where she was stacking the paint cups. "I thought it wasn't fair for you to clean up our mess all by yourself," she said. "So I decided to help, and then everyone else joined in." Miss Taylor smiled warmly. "That's very thoughtful of you, Ella, and it looks like your kindness inspired the whole class." It didn't take long before the classroom was spotless. The tables were clean, the art supplies were neatly put away, and the floor was free of scraps and paint splatters. The students all stood proudly, looking around at their hard work. "See, that didn't take long at all," Ella said with a grin. "Now we can all go outside and enjoy recess." The class cheered, feeling accomplished and happy. They had worked together to clean up, and now they were ready for some well-deserved playtime. As they made their way to the playground, Miss Taylor stopped Ella for a moment. "Ella, I want you to know that what you did today was really special," she said. "You saw a need and took responsibility without being asked. That's true leadership, and you made our classroom a better place." Ella beamed with pride. "Thanks, Miss Taylor," she said. "I just thought that helping out would make everyone happier." And she was right. The classroom cleanup had not only made the room tidy, but it had also brought the whole class together. By working as a team, they had learned an important lesson. Helping others and taking care of shared spaces made everyone feel better and more respectful of each other. From that day on, the students in Miss Taylor's class made it a habit to clean up after themselves without being reminded. Whether it was after art time, snack time, or any other activity, they knew that taking care of their classroom was something they could all do together. Ella had discovered that small acts of kindness, like cleaning up or helping others, made a big difference. And as she played on the swings with her friends that afternoon, she knew that her little decision to help had made the whole classroom a happier, more respectful place.